logical IQ, linguistic IQ, spatial IQ, bodily kinesthetic IQ, musical IQ, interpersonal IQ, intrapersonal IQ, naturalistic IQ. In high-stress situations, people with different dominant types of intelligence behave in very different ways. Someone with high logical IQ may get stuck in endless analysis, delaying action. Those with high linguistic IQ may talk too much or lose their train of thought while searching for the right words. People with high spatial IQ can panic when their environment changes unexpectedly, losing control over visual patterns. Individuals with high bodily kinesthetic IQ may overexert themselves or act impulsively, losing fine motor control. Those with high interpersonal IQ can over-adjust or try too hard to please, sacrificing their own stance. People with high intrapersonal IQ may retreat inward, getting stuck in self-analysis and losing connection with reality. Someone with high naturalistic IQ may become overly concerned with details and lose focus on priority actions. A person who can step beyond their dominant type of intelligence gains a major advantage: the freedom to choose who to be in a given situation, rather than being limited by what their test says they should be. And did you know that you can change everything about yourself, your personality, completely? I'll share the technique in future stories. And it's not just personality, appearance, behavior, even active proteins and telomere length in your body can change. How has this helped me in life? Late at night, a colleague called and asked me to come immediately. They had only 14 hours left to resolve a situation that had already dragged on for more than a day. When I heard the name of the lead negotiator, I was surprised. It was one of the best in the field. I honestly didn't understand how I could be of any help. The perpetrator was calm, controlled, and methodical. He was holding more than 10 hostages, including one extremely high-value individual. A tactical assault was not an option. The hostages would have been at serious risk. As I listened to the negotiator's assessment, I felt something was off. His description of the situation didn't match reality. He was locked into a pattern. At that moment, I realized I needed to see the perpetrator myself. Officially, I would never have been allowed near him, but when the supervisor left, we approached the door. I started speaking to him right there. He opened the door and let me in. A few minutes later, we walked out together, and I was carrying his weapon. Later, we analyzed in detail why the negotiations had reached a dead end. The issue wasn't lack of professionalism. The negotiators were acting by the book and became trapped by it. The first negotiator fell into the pattern, and the second followed. Their thinking narrowed under the weight of responsibility. No one could afford a mistake, and no one could agree to the perpetrator's demands. But negotiations don't always end with what the offender wants, and in this case, there was simply no clear way out. That's why a negotiator must remain a cold, detached observer. You have to step back from yourself, notice the smallest details, and avoid emotional involvement. The moment you become emotionally engaged, you stop being a professional. You lose control. They couldn't step out of the roles and psychological identities they had assumed, and that always leads to serious consequences. I'm not saying I'm smarter than the negotiator. In many situations, I wouldn't have been able to perform the way he did, but in this specific case, it worked for me. I immediately understood why they couldn't reach him. They approached him through a rigid framework, as a criminal, not as a human being. I asked myself a simple question: what does he actually want? What is his real motivation? That was the entire point. After it was over, the reaction hit me. I sat down with a cup of coffee, opened my laptop, and didn't even notice when I pulled out a pack of cigarettes I had hidden away long ago. My hands were shaking. But during the conversation, you don't have that luxury. In the moment, you must be composed and emotionally neutral. You can allow yourself to feel only afterward, once you realize everything ended well. Only later did I learn how much explosive material was inside, enough to destroy not just that building, but the one next to it as well. If I had known that beforehand, I probably wouldn't have gone in. But just a few minutes of conversation saved lives, his and mine. And your own life no matter what, always matters.